Hi guys, what's happening? I am Jessica McKinley and I am the founder of What's Happyning, and I just wanted to make a video to go a little bit more in depth about today's Happstacles. So a Happstacle, first of all, is a word that I made up, but it will be trending very soon. It means just a happiness obstacle. So basically, obviously it's true that not everybody in the world is happy. So if all of these things that I'm saying are true and all of the things that if you followed every single thing in personal development, what is the reason that you're not able to maintain happiness all the time? Makes no sense, right? Well, actually, I think that the biggest reason is that you cannot maintain happiness is because there are these Happstacles that are emotions that are, contrary to happiness that you need to go through before you can actually feel a deep sense of happiness. So I just wanted to go through a couple of them that I've outlined within one example within each growth category and see if maybe this helps you to identify some of your own Happstacles so that you can come to terms with them and then embrace them instead of fighting back or maybe giving up right before you actually do achieve a goal or fulfill a dream. So let's go through the categories. In identity and purpose, one of the desires that I have for identity is a main goal for people is to figure out who I am. Okay, so in order to figure out who I am, the Happstacle that I have to come to terms with is that I can't make any more excuses. I'm figuring out that everything is now on me. I can no longer blame my problems on other people. I'm coming to terms with the fact that I have to take 100% accountability for my life in order to wrap my head around my full identity and feel happy there. And so it sometimes is a little bit scary to no longer have any excuses, because if something goes wrong or if you're not feeling that great, the pressure is on you. But that's okay, because ultimately you need to feel this in order to truly feel good about your identity. So with purpose, the desire there is to feel a sense of meaning in my day-to-day life. And in order to do that, a Happstacle that I always come across is clarity. So what do I want to do with my life? When you're a 20-something, that is a question that you ask yourself all the time. And I don't really think it just applies to 20-somethings. You're gonna keep asking yourself that even when you're all grown up. So it's important to be clear, not only just about your identity, about what your purpose is and what you're driving forward. So even if you're feeling unclear, it's important to embrace that lack of clarity, not embrace the lack of clarity, but identify the fact that you have a lack of clarity and push through that so that you can really feel a sense of purpose. A big desire for body month, so not just body month, but for your body in general, is that I know that most people want to feel healthy and strong, right? So that sounds easy, right? Why can't everyone just do everything that it takes to be healthy and strong if that's everybody's goal? Well, there are some big Happstacles here, and these ones are a little bit more obvious maybe because they're physical, but one is struggle. So if you're maybe talking about fitness when it comes to your body, there are a lot of struggles when it comes to pushing your body to a point where you feel discomfort. So if it was just easy, if being healthy and strong just meant eating potato chips and watching TV, yeah, maybe it'd be a little bit easier to get to. But truly, in order to get these amazing, achievements or a sense of fulfillment in happiness, you need to go through this type of struggle. And in order to really, really be healthy long term, it takes discipline. So struggle and discipline are things that are recurring themes and Happstacles within a lot of categories, but it's easy to identify within body. So embrace the struggle, embrace the discipline and the focus that it takes to become healthy, because if you're not willing to accept these Happstacles and embrace them and look at them just as your path towards towards reaching your bigger dreams and your goals, then you're not going to be able to get there, and you're certainly not going to be able to maintain it. So within career and money, one of my desires is I want a career, or the general desire there is I want a career which I love, which I am great at, which I get paid for, and which the world needs. So this is really the sweet spot in a career. It's what we all want, I think, something that we're passionate about, something that we are naturally inclined, we have natural abilities in, something that we can get paid for. That's a big one. I'm not naive in thinking that we all just want a job that, that doesn't profit us in any way. We need to make a living here, and one that the world needs. So to feel like our career matters, like when we are looking back on our life, when we're older, we feel like what we did with our lives, what we spend most of our lives doing, our career, really mattered. So why can't we all just do that, right? Well, in order to get to take a journey on a career that has all of these four things, that is going to take some serious risk. There's no job that has all four of those things right off the bat. You're going to have to go out on a limb. You're going to have to do some trainings. Maybe you definitely are going to have to try some things you've never tried before. You're going to have to ask. You're going to have to ask for things that maybe you've never asked for before. You're going to have to take a lot of risk. And that's a hard one to bite down on when you're first starting your career journey when you're younger. And I get it because I'm in the middle of it right now. I just started this blog this year, and this has been a whirlwind of an entrepreneurial journey. And I also just started fitness coaching, and I'm building a team there, and it's been amazing, but it was a huge risk, obviously financially, and I have no doubt when I take this risk that I will be rewarded, because it's these types of risks that you need to embrace in order to get to that level of happiness. It's worth it, because if I can pull this off, and which I will because I'm determined. And the second part is hard work. So in that twofold answer, if as far as not just career but for money, you want to have the means to live the life of your dreams, that's going to take some money. I mean, we're living in a world that's not, especially if you're watching this from America, it's not cheap to live here, and it costs a lot to live your dreams. And if it doesn't cost a lot, maybe you're not dreaming big enough. I mean, wouldn't you love to be able to give back, even if you're not selfishly with money? So that's a huge one. I think that hard work and risk, you have to embrace these Happstacles if you want to be able to find some happiness in your career and money, and not just work like a robot in that way. And so the next one would be family and friends. So the desire there is I want a mutually loving and respectful relationship with my family and my friends. And so that's another one that maybe off the bat sounds pretty simple, but I don't know if you have any unhappiness in your relationships with your family or friends. But if you do, if you don't, that's amazing. I know I have a lot of joy in my relationships with my family and my friends, but still there is a little bit of vulnerability that comes with opening yourself up to these relationships, especially when you put the word love in there. And a big obstacle there is pain. So with friendships, you might risk, some pain of opening yourself up to people and giving and being vulnerable, and especially meeting new people. It can seem scary, and so you need to be willing to embrace that, the pain that might come along with opening up your heart to your friends or to your family, because if you do, it is worth it. So the next category, love and sex. This is something that, again, maybe some people have very little happiness in this area. Maybe some people have a ton of happiness. Wherever you're at, you can always seek more, and you constantly should be, because it's not a destination, happiness. It's a journey. So the desire there is deep connection and a satisfying sex life with whoever your partner is. And in there, that's a lot more vulnerability, similar to family and friends, where you're going to have to let go of fear. You're going to have to open yourself up and be authentically you with this person. And that can be really, really hard. And some people miss out on love their entire lives because they don't embrace the Happstacle that is vulnerability. So I really encourage you to embrace that one and identify within your love and sex life what is your Happstacle. For some people, it's vulnerability. For some people, it's pride. Some people, they are selfish in their needs and their goals, and they're maybe have too much pride to open themselves up to someone else. So figure out what your personal Happstacle is. With attitude and gratitude, that growth category, the desire there is, I want to feel positive, proud, powerful, in control, and grateful. So these are just a lot of attitudes that, for me personally, are the attitudes that I want to embrace and to reflect as a person. And I think that a key part to that, and one of the Happstacles that I struggle with the most, is being able to focus on not just reacting, but responding. So the difference is, a reaction is something that you do without thinking too much. Your emotions, your energy, the words, however it comes out, and this general attitude, it's your automatic thinking, and you need to be able to interrupt your automatic thought. I'm going to do a post on that later this month, but you need to be able to interrupt that and reassess what your core values are and respond according to the real values that you have, and not just to the automatic reaction that you want to have. And that is really big a Happstacle for me. I don't know about you guys, but as far as gratitude goes, that just takes a lot of focus. And again, I think if we can all get some more gratitude in our lives, there's no doubt that just this one alone is going to boost your happiness way up. But it takes a lot of focus. Otherwise, we would all just be grateful all the time, right? Because it doesn't matter what our circumstances are, what we have, it matters what we're focusing on and how grateful we are. So if you can embrace that Happstacle of focus and figure out a way to focus more on gratitude, you're going to be rewarded. So the next one is spirit. So spirit, the desire there is to have a connection to something greater than myself, or a connection to something greater than another individual. And this is something that some people have very little Happstacles with, but for me, that Happstacle, and I know a lot of people struggle with faith, and that is faith in something that maybe you do not have proof of. It's more of a feeling than it is a system or a guideline of what to do. I think that this is one of the chapters of what's happening that I'm most looking forward to. I'm looking forward to engaging with you guys and seeing your thoughts on it. But I have definitely in the past struggled with the Happstacle of faith, and I know a lot of other people do too. So I'm looking for new ways to open myself back up and to embrace faith as a way to become an even more spiritual person than I am. The next one being knowledge and perspective. So the desire there is to learn and to know more. I am the most curious person there is. I need to know as much as I can know and learn as much as I can learn in as many seconds as I have. And a real struggle there is lack of time. So everyone just is always commenting on how little time they have. Nobody seems to have any time. And I'm not saying that you're not busy. Actually, the most successful and even unsuccessful people I know are oftentimes like pretty busy, regardless of whether you're successful or unsuccessful. The happiness there, it comes from how you use your discretionary time. So embracing your lack of time and shaping it in a different way, and prioritizing in a different way so that you're able to learn more and to know more is going to get you to your happiness goal of knowledge, priorities, and especially when it comes to time. Perspective. So the desire is to understand both sides. And in order to do that, you need to overcome the obstacle of empathy. You need to take yourself out of your shoes and not just resort again to that automatic thought of what you've known previously, and to be really a good listener. The next category is home and organization. So the desire is a sense of comfort and belonging custom to me. So for me, I don't know if that definition of home really rings true to you, but for me, I want to make my home have a feel that I can recreate no matter where I move. And a lot of that has to do with family and the people that are there. It doesn't have to do with exactly my house, but a obstacle there is making choices about the types of things that you're going to bring into the house, the types of energies and activities you're going to allow in your house, and the types of the practices, whether you have a TV in your bedroom, that's a choice that you can make about your home. And it's going to have a big influence. How you design your home and what you do in your home, it has a huge impact on the happiness of your life. So think about those obstacles that you particularly have with your home, and maybe focus on that when Home and Organization Month comes around. We'll have a lot of great happiness gurus on that month. Organization, so plans and order, and the obstacle there is vision. So I know a lot of people struggle with this one. If you're not an organized person, it's okay. Maybe your big obstacle there is vision. You don't know how to organize. You don't have this structure, and that's okay. You need to embrace this obstacle, embrace your gurus there, seek some help, and get some organization, because the more organized your physical world is, your mental world, it's all gonna affect your happiness. Habits is the next category, and the desire is to create good habits, of course, and to break bad habits. So the happiness obstacle here is to kill autopilot. So habits are typically just things that you think of that you do without thinking. Habits are things that you don't have to think to do. So how do we break a bad habit? You have to think, actually, and focus so much that you are interrupting that automatic thought. Again, this is going to be such an amazing post for a couple of weeks from now. And that will help you reach a new level of happiness if you can really kill this autopilot and create some good habits and make some good decisions there. So within passion projects, a desire is to dedicate time and effort to things that make us feel joy, maybe for no other reason than we just want to feel more joyful. And they maybe aren't a career move. It's not something that you do for anyone other than you. And this is one where I feel like maybe once we move into our 20-somethings, or even 30-somethings, it becomes a little bit more difficult to make the time for that, because we're focused on growing. We're focused on this transformation. We want to build our career. We want to start a family. We have to do all these things. We have to make more money. We have to buy a house, etc., etc. And what happens to that happiness that came from ice skating, if that's what you love to do? There's no time all of a sudden. Well, no, you need to make some time for it, because truly nobody is going to be able to prioritize your time, your discretionary time in your life other than you, and you only get one life. So priorities as an obstacle, it needs to be overcome. The last and final growth category of community and giving back, the desire is to be a part of a community, as far as community, and that obstacle would be to get outside of your comfort zone. So if you've graduated high school or college and you moved to a different area, or you took a new job, or you moved for your spouse or your significant other, and you're in a new community, this is a perfect opportunity for you to embrace this Happstacle and get out of your comfort zone. Even though it feels scary and it feels like it's not gonna make you happy right away, I promise you, you're more unhappy not embracing this community and feeling a part of a community than it would for you to just, break the ice and go out and try and join a team or a club or a meetup or something like that. There's all sorts of apps that you can use. I'll post some another time if you don't know of them. And giving back, the desire is to give back to the world. So this is a huge one, especially for me. I know that a lot of us maybe want this in our lives but aren't prioritizing it, because maybe the Happstacle there is we feel frustrated about the idea of giving away what we worked for, what we want. Like, we have all these priorities and all these things that we're working for, of course, providing for our family. We want to get things for our kids or for the holidays for our family and friends. We want to be able to go on vacation. We want to be able to buy a house, whatever it is. And where are we giving back, whether it's financially or with our time? Time is money, and you need to overcome this Happstacle, because the more you give back, the more you get in happiness. And I'm so glad that that's the one we're closing off with, because truly this Happstacle is something that I think too many people think is too great to overcome, because it's not a priority for them. But when you overcome that Happstacle of feeling like you have too much on your plate already, how can you give up some of this money or some of this time that you already don't have? Figure it out, because it's going to bring you a lot of happiness. So those are just a summary of some of my personal examples, or some examples of people that I know. But I would love to see, comment, engage on the blog below, and to let us know some of your Happstacles, something that you've explored, or some desires that you have. Have a wonderful evening. Take care.